I guess a lot of firearms retailers in the state of Washington received a letter from the Washington State Patrol asking, in essence, for information on every AR-15 rifle that they have sold from last July until now. What's going on, Dave?
Well, yeah, we're trying to figure that out, just exactly what's going on. I've been digging into this story, and from what I can find out, it appears they're after a particular rifle that was belonged to the state patrol. They think they know who took it, so they're on a fishing expedition to get all of these files from all of these dealers, so that they're hoping that this man's name pops up being involved in a transaction, which to me is the most bass-backwards way of doing things.
Yeah.
It's a crazy investigation, and I spoke with the ATF on Friday, and a lady there told me that at the time on Friday that these dealers are under no legal obligation because all this is a request. They don't have to turn their files over to the State Patrol. Now, today I talked to the ATF here in Seattle, and the story is slightly different. They say, well, we don't know what kind of laws that Washington State may have that would enable the State Patrol to be asking for this information. So I'm not sure what's really going on here yet.
Okay, but I mean, the bottom line is these dealers don't have. I mean, this is a request. This is not a demand.
Yeah, it's a request, and the dealers that I've been talking to and trading email with, and I've got a stack of these letters. They all arrived in the mailboxes on Thursday of last week. On Friday morning, the ATF told me that their phones were kind of ringing off the hook over in Seattle, and I tried to reach the State Patrol people who sent out the letter. They haven't returned my phone calls. What a shock that is! And the thing has gotten to the point where I've got dealers telling me, hey, I'm not going to cooperate with the State Patrol. They're after these files. They're not really explaining a lot what's going on here. We think this is a way for them to build a backdoor registry of people who own AR-15s. We're not going to cooperate.
Yeah. No, was this Dave one guy, or was this I mean, how many people were involved in this decision to send out this letter?
Well, a captain signed the letter. There's a lieutenant involved, and then the letter was signed on behalf of a female State Patrol detective who I guess is working the case. She's stationed in Tacoma. She hasn't returned any of my calls. The National Shooting Sports Foundation, this got their attention. They put a thing in their bulletin that went out today, their bullet points, talking about this, quoting my column from Friday that this whole thing had erupted. So there are at least three people involved here. The ATF person I talked to on Friday assured me, and I have no reason to doubt this, that the State Patrol never consulted the ATF before they sent this letter out. This is not the way the ATF would do business. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And this really caught them pretty much blindsided them. And so while, we've the last couple of times you and I have chatted, we've talked about this Goofy Gun Runner project down in the Southwest. Here's one where the ATF may be kind of the victim here, and the State Patrol is screwing this thing up.
Jeez. Well, Dave, keep up the fantastic work reporting on this story. And, in the meantime, I got to ask you, we saw U.S. Ambassador Carlos Pascual submit his resignation today. You know how big a deal Operation Fast and Furious has been down in Mexico. And I'm kind of appalled that none of the media stories mentioned Operation Fast and Furious. They all are saying, well, this is a result of the WikiLeaks cable. That's why Pascual had to step down. Look, those cables were released in late December. Pascual steps down now, a week after the foreign minister in Mexico was called on the carpet to try to explain Fast and Furious. The head of Mexico's National Security Council has been asked about this, and all of the major political parties in Mexico were calling for Carlos Pascual's ouster because of Fast and Furious. Now we're supposed to believe, no, it was this 3-month-old a scandal over WikiLeaks.
Well, yeah, and I think you're heading in the right direction here. Of course, being a reporter, I don't have the luxury to speculate all over the map, but I'll tell you this. There's something very suspicious, as you just discerned, about the timing of this resignation. Fast and Furious is really starting to get an odor. We've got Darrell Issa, who's looking into this now on the House side. We still have Chuck Grassley on the Senate side, who's making inquiries about this. Now, those two guys, they're on the hunt. They're not going to give this up. I don't think that they're going to allow themselves to be sidetracked by other issues. There's something really seriously wrong going on here, and that has gone on, and we've got to keep our attention focused on Fast and Furious, because that's really what this story's all about. It's not about different things that they've been trying to throw out in the press about where we're worried about maybe a gun here and a gun there, and different aspects of foreign policy.
Mm-hmm.
They want to sidetrack us. The story is the guns and the release of those guns allowed to walk across the border. I've been reading some stuff over the weekend. There's a lot of conjecture out there, but there's some of this stuff that actually is beginning to make a lot more sense. If the ATF in Arizona allowed these guns to walk simply to pad the numbers of guns that they figured they would recover down there, then we really have a problem. I'm not sure that that's what's going on, but it bears investigating, and that's why I'm glad that not only Grassley's involved in this, but now you've got Darrell Issa over in the House that's launching an investigation. He has asked for specific records, emails, all kinds of stuff, directives, that if he hadn't been talking to somebody on the inside, he may not even know that stuff existed, but he wants it. And, I think the ATF, if they don't start coming up with that stuff pretty soon, people are going to have some explaining to do.
I think you're absolutely right. Well, Dave, thanks again, sir, for coming on the program tonight. I know we'll be talking again very soon.
I'm sure we will, and I look forward to seeing you in Pittsburgh here in about a month.
I'm looking forward to it. Dave Workman with the Seattle Gun Rights Examiner and GunWeek.com joining us here tonight on Cam & Company.